Okay, now we're on section 7.2. We're doing question 15. And here's our differential equation, and the domain for x is greater than 0. So now let's start by, we need to get all the x's on one side, everything else on the other. So let's multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the square root of x, both sides by dx, and both sides by the reciprocal of e to the y. And by the way, let me clear something up. This is, before we do that, this equals e to the y times e to the root x, because when you multiply like bases, you add the exponents. Now we'll go ahead and multiply things such that we isolate the terms or factors with y in them on one side, and those factors with x in them on the other side. Good. And now we can go ahead and, oh, by the way, I have to have a dx over here. Excuse me. Now we can go ahead and integrate. And what we get here is minus e to the minus y equals, and oh boy, we've got a little problem here. We need a 2 down here. In other words, if u equals root x, then du equals 1 over 2 root x dx. Well, we don't have a 2 right there. Well, let's put one there. We can do that as long as we multiply the numerator by 2 also. Now, what we get is 2e to the root of x plus c, and I'll call it c sub 1. And now our task is to isolate the constant. And so I'm going to subtract, or excuse me, I'm going to add e to the minus y to both sides, and I'm going to subtract c sub 1. So in the end, what we'll have is 2e to the root x, and adding e to the negative y to both sides, we get plus e to the negative y equals, and minus c sub 1. But look, that's an unknown constant. I'm just going to replace it with another unknown constant and call it c sub 2. Good. Now we don't have to worry about that sign, and we are done.